actually issue Sanipano with a family permit. Of course, Omoka said no longer would they issue such permits after 30th June. But it is also clear under your Appendix EU and I say EU settlement scheme applications ne say obi ewo family permit issue ne dia and also relevant documents to me application under your Appendix EU. Nti eno nso sa no na amana sa nipa no kwan say obetumi aye application for under the EU settlement scheme instead of your previous EA applications for family permit. Nti eno no of course say was a situation mu na unin lawyer patcho ko lawyer na at least omontumi emboa wo na omontumi ye bibia ye friend pre-action protocol eno no a letter ebo home office amane say dia omo ye no enye anase dia decision na omo dia ma no omo eti nti say omo sesa no so omo anya dia and ye de omo ebe court which is judicial review and no sa no ye catch omo say and the court no say court no ena edi ho adwuma e ka say decision na mo make ye no wrong because mo ankasa mo guidance any other case laws no suggest say court make a decision e ma nimpa say mo so mo disto say one year appeal and I say mo ankasa decision na court make ye no ye wrong there and they say mo disto in see of course this is something that will be going on for quite a long time. Into was a situation muna only lawyer, Patrick lawyer, so also a lawyer so dear and dear for advice no na at least to me and who be na at least them who say home office for no anya dear. But I'm hoping say almost so ebe who say almost so decision not to not implement sa permits no so wrong. Because of course, there will be so many people in that situation and you don't want there to be thousands and thousands of complaints. And see, I'm sure because I'm also per complaints, Nancy, they will try and do something about it before it escalates to judicial review. And see, of course, this is just a bit of update. I mean, what Emma 84.
Lawyer Eunice, more updating so the Muyam, the Mudru. The Gilly said, and the pay at year for Ekika and Yama Abubani. And the young to America, Nyanko and Ne, near Odi Ebre and so. Child maintenance. Why in the was wood to ya? A year by force. Compulsory. Say child maintenance, you know. I was say, me to ya. Mammy ni to ya, and na papa ni to ya, and na uncle ni to ya. Ana aunties any tia, Badaroma.
Okay. It's to say our apostle prophet, of course, your main topic, no. I think say from time to time minya questions way because of the fact that so what say when you be say na mo na montem na anya fine na montem ne tetea. This is one of the main things that nkofobisa because of course, young Crawford of say you tempted to na your pesa yasha yaba, your pesa yasha yaba, young pesa will be a car buying horse or Jessica and answer or just say, it is one of the most common questions that Mia. And in terms of your child maintenance, what is child maintenance? And I say, so you can say child support and as a child maintenance a day. Into Oshe Yemrana, which is the Child Maintenance and Other Payments Act of 2008 now. Of course, child maintenance a payments obia oya non-resident parents into Nipakrona one akolana enseno. Sa parents no and usually otia akolane maintenance and answer sikana omo de behwe sa akola no of course most of the time no parents into nipakona only akola no ente into the other parents na only akola no ente ene betua sa eka no into say parents na only akola no ente no or hwe akola no ebia from time to time oje benefits eno no emfa ho because the other parent is no longer there no child maintenance no omo beji every parents no ho into say for instance papa no na wahwe nkola ne saa na mame no epi akoye adwuma de ebefie na mame ne say omo ntem atete nti ebia papa no nko na papa no so aka say me na mehwe nkola no enye wo nti ebia meje benefits e dey ahwe nkola no na wo so wetu efiri ha nti me dey me child arrangement order na at least metumi enya residence order or na say order to show say me na me hwe nkola na say me na me ne nkola no ete it's eba ne sa of course say mama no na any nkola ne entna dia ende no na obetua sa child maintenance say your papa no na any nkola no entna dia your papa no na betua sa child maintenance no. If we are looking at child maintenance, how na the Rebecca say governments no almost to me say sa nimpa we na say utua na sa amount we so na say umutua. Even before we get to that no say o mama anase o papa no ebia onye adwuma ebeye den na onwa age sa sika no. Usually no say ebia mama no ana papa no enye adwuma na omoje benefits still now omo betumi aka say because oje benefits said into the benefits na oje no ebia between £7 to £100 a week and oje star benefits na and there you bet at least flat rate of £7 a week for signing panel because onye adwuma benefits per and oje into enono sano the benefits now is between £7 to £100 now. Omo budgets are £7 a week. Ama nipa na one nkola note. It doesn't matter the number of children. So I have £7 no ena omo budget. Of course, say parents no eye adwuma and also or you self-employed into a nkrofo mo ye employed and also self-employed. Omo no. Of course, say omo eye adwuma dia and there yebeka say omo so ebetia sa child maintenance no. Usually no sa child maintenance agency and as a service no omo per se awofo no come to some agreement in terms of sika omo betia. It's most of the time no obehu say papa no na only nkola no entna there and the papa no beka say okay from time to time we discover to account no na o dey ahwe nkola no into say £100 and I say £200 bia and every week bia say £100 no na me dey beto account no na at least o dey ato yema ama nkola no into it is sad there then of course who here say o dey child maintenance service for baby crab because one kasa why your own arrangements. Sometimes we say obi transfer of money into the account. Na nipa krono ne nkola neti no. Omodwen say it's not fair say sa nipa no etia sika kitwa no into omo de na call child maintenance for no na child maintenance for no aye calculation na at least calculation no aka say onto ya say ni say. Inti of course say ujidi say ebia sika na nipa krono etia is not enough. Now odrin say by reporting that to the child maintenance no mo beye hu bibia they will first of all investigate to see say their work no correct. Of course so who evidence to show say tia sika way into mama no account because of the fact say who dey who say enkola no omo hia yema so the sika no eto omo account. So if you get any email and answer contact from child maintenance service for now, then you have to provide evidence say oh yeah did that. It's not something that you don't do. Into ABA or bank statements. I just say ABA from January to July no. Every month, be out the £200 at two accounts no more. They will look at that and say, okay, and we might not need to get involved because one kasawa will own arrangements with akola ne mame anase nkola no omo mame, which is also a good thing. When it comes to, of course, nkrofo na omo ntua kra na, then of course child maintenance for no will have to probe you. Say yenim say wo nkola say mame no a contact ye, mame no say untua hwe emma nkola no nti ade na untua hwe. Of course, so unye adwuma omo behu wo omo HMR system no so say unye adwuma, but unye adwuma dia, of course they will communicate with the other government departments, and so omo behu say unye adwuma. Whether it is self-employed and as employed work no omo behu. Into omo akasa omo own calculations are omo de ma in terms of child maintenance hon sema ye kano. Inti say for instance uye juma na waketua no omo hu ne say waketua no edoso kakra nti ye be hwe senya ye betumi I work it out senya also betua sika no akoma wo ba anase wo mba no omo at least 3 or 4 different rates are almost share. First one on me can say a flat rate into say it would be an ipakonje benefits and the said benefits between £7 and £100 almost budget £7 na pay. But say nipa no ye adwuma na at least bibi kono na account mu a almost share gross income no enye sika na kono potom. Into gross income na nipa kro na oye parents na only nkola ne ente no omo hwe ne gross income senya omo betumi calculating na omo de ama sa nkola no eno no sa no there's the 3 different rates. Either say omo be share the basic rate plus and also omo be share the basic rate omo be apply to nipa no income. And now say omo reduced rate omo apply to nipa ne income no. And to say you can reduce rates na you can say of course some parents no ebia na ketia sheda endorse. Into the gross pay na original ebia is between 101 pence to 199 pounds. And say no say na ketia no between 101 pence to 199 a week. And the yebetumi a calculate senya yebetumi age sika ama nkola anase akola na ohia no se nipa kro na oye adwuma no na ketia between let's say £200 to at least £800 a week there. Then of course and also sa no yebeje no sa basic rate charge na usually yeje nkofo se obia ne sika edoso pa nso oye adwuma ye nso ne adwuma no ne sika na oje no at least yen can say it's between £800 a week to £3,000 a week. And of course the £3,000 no the final amount omo beje nso say nipa no say ebia oje more than £3,000 a week crampo na omo cut off points no £3,000 nso SAS child maintenance service for no almost shredding panel sika na ojena. Then of course mobile calculated said sika no between £800 to £3,000 a week na omo charges are basic rate plus. But a young couple baby and a better star line no. Most people are between £101 to £199 and I say £200 to £800 gross a week. Into most people no ever fall under that basic rate and I say reduced rate should I say amounts na homogeneous. Into of course say one kasa no unim say one mama no mo betumi aka ho na wetumi aye some arrangements in terms of sika or the man kola ne dia. Then of course go by that because say nipa krono ne sika na onya no enhyeda ndorso a ebia omo be calculate amount na ewie no sika na child maintenance for no e de be ma no ebia be ye less crampo sing sika na nipa krono crampo e can say of the be ma. And sometimes they always want it to be from the parents making those arrangements. They say and on the be ma because first of all no o make application no say o per se omo jisika every obi ho a there's a fee that you have to pay in terms of the application now, all year crampono. And of course, so open a child maintenance for and just as you can also there is also a fee that you have to pay if you are doing the collect and pay service. So one kasamo peneso now say of course you bet you sikano into my money account because onona oshen kolano. Then of course there isn't any fee. But so wow oye papa no and say oye mama na only nkolano ente no. So o kasa untua sikano cry because I didn't know some chase so now we just ask sikano dia. And the child maintenance service for no omo powers are on way to me a use adjust sikano. Omo fan light the crowd because omo who say o say oh yeah akola parents there and they say utua sasikano. Is this a different matter? So we say onye nkola papa and I say onye akola papa there and they know they a different matter because I don't know o ka say onye nkola omo parents. Eba ne sa crampo na child maintenance for no ebe to me aka say and if you say onye nkwala no mo papa dia and yen court na yen kohwe say ampa over to me it diso say onye nkwala no papa, especially if your name is on the birth certificate. In say wodin e birth certificate na wo ka say onye nkwala no papa dia and yen fan court na yen hwe say onye nkwala no papa ampa. And usually most of the time the court will order for DNA test to be done. In say no sano DNA test no ever prove whether oye nkola papa and asa onye omo papa. But say 3 months so na utia child maintenance Canada, then of course there's no issue. But still na say for instance o start say utia na time bi ewo ho a bia refi into weja say utia sa ekana child maintenance for no so able to me ama wedwumem for no etua sasika no direct to omo inse no omo friend no deduction of wages omo betumi aka kire employer ne say sa nimpa we say otua sika we ni we ema mame we but ontua into patcho mo betumi age sasika no efri ne salary mu anasa mo betumi ate efri ne salary mu senya yen so yenim say mama no ebenya sika no ana say waka say woni adwuma dia then of course omo be access wo income no so woni adwuma na onje benefits there and there of course enye ade a obetumi etua but say we adwuma nkwa ade na won pese obetua dia and there omo wo enho kwan say omo betumi aye sa omo court order na say omo betumi agi sika no free wo employer no ho senya maame no so ebetumi anya sika no of course yeah ka say uye adwuma dia then they cannot say they are making an order for sa payments na 1 year ni na no to be paid because abane say untumi enye adwuma na say unye adwuma enti there is no way I obetumi etia sa ekano free ho but say o start say uye adwuma dia and say o inform omo because of course say omo who say what start say uye adwuma na untumi entia ekana na akoye asemfoforo and especially sikana omo tia no is for nkola no benefit into say akola no edi more than 16 na wetumi approve say akola no eda so eco school or that so nene mame and etia then they can still collect that child maintenance up to the child being 20 crampo into say akola no crampo pa the age of 18 na say papa na or that so ne new partner na say on nkola no ente no eda so tia sa ekano because omo ho ne say akola no ene mame ene ete oko school oye bibia to say senya akola eye nti say papa no so eda so ekoso na ohwe sa akola na ebia onne papa no ente. It is important say of course say bibi say ene there you don't want to be paying through child maintenance for such a long period of time. You want to be able to say me ne mama no happiness to say ebia because of nkola no entire and I say no metua say ama mama no rather than going through the whole child maintenance service system saying omo kano na omo chase o start adwuma na omo start say omo chase biom o jai adwuma okay yehu say o jai adwuma but o start na one country omo so a they can do a backtrack of payments now nyina no to say and so too because one country and say what started adwuma. It is important say obema ehu from the onset say woni mame ne arrangements there ma omo hu say woni mame arrangement there na omo get involved but say o ka say we adwuma but mame no only right say obeje wusika there and there of course that's totally wrong because omo ye also mumba na omo sasika no just so that they can support in Kolano. Senya also ubetumi aka say okay ma hwememba at least say o hwemba that's a different story. So when mama no crampo was shared custody into ebia nkwala no omo mama na ete but usually no ebia weekends ufa mo and also during holiday times omo te ho say omo who say for a certain period of time when nkwala no so na ete a omo betumi ate sika na omo charge wana say sika na omo aka che say obetua no omo betumi ate so because also ohwe nkola na say also nkola no eba ho e ma also ohwe omo inse no so sa no there's a certain way they calculate it and as a certain way omo betumi reduce so ama also to me e kire omo say nkola no so from time to time omo beda ho omo ohwe omo ene nkeka ho dia then of course they will look at that but it will only be reduced by a small percentage. Of course, say OJ benefits and kwana unye juma, they can't say they are charging you for anything extra. And say, for instance, obia OJ benefits say, and also in Kolano Banner from time to time, no to make us say at least in Kolano, in a whole year, no, from January to December, at least almost bedam hall for 6 weeks and I say 8 weeks and I say baby sana then omo to me aka say and the main tia child maintenance ne kra because ehun here say yebeji £77 every week because in Kolano Krampo no omo ba won chen omo beda ho for such a period of time inti say wo a wo ye adwuma no a wonim say in Kolano no eye wo mba na omo ka say patcho tia child maintenance way Emma and Kola say now person betia they by all means there is somewhere you know on be to me a for employer on be to me and also akokot aka say sasika we are so tia no untia inti court ne endi ho adwuma bailiffs be to me aba on be to me aka say enyema na wo no omo ton bi agisika no ahwe Kola no but so one kasa while ye own arrangement say when mama no mama no ebe din kon na at least metia sa I can say and as I say ama mama ne dia then of course unim say we dimu and say of course prophet we kitwa bi na me say make sure ye for na your viewers meaning say what time no so and share there and wo bebre into major ama ona wetumi akoso
yo mame lawyer yeda wase anopa de watwa nsim no bi agu wa me gidi se enne amanfo e de be kye because say niema sesa na onso asesa ho sane a wo kan emra ne sesa na onso asesa ho nyesa emra na be kire ana
pa chine
enti anopa lawyer Eunice se yen kan kire won a omayo ma adwene se omo ro trouser wa ha no moko omo ro wa ha no moko obua emra be kire emra be kire akwala no o mfa akwala no ho o ma akwala no ma ho o nko hwehwe akwala no o mfa akwala no mpie o mfa akwala no nko shopping na ma me ne ye boko no de bre BWF solicitors ye be file na ya kire ne ba bi e wo so wo de ko no de akowura ho ene aketua no yetua ya ne yate ye de ana lawyer meboa
sika ne yetimi no kreno ne kreno ya ba kope
okay enti sika ne yetimete ansa na yede ne aka abrew
aha it is omo ka say wo ntua dia and omo be je fru employer ho dia omo be tie fru wo salary nim ansa na omo de sika no krampo abrew
enti say ogitum say okay metua utua ne next week when tua next week when tua na ma me ne de cause otua ejija tutum otua ba kwa wontua ne aka no eno no nso no ye be kwa kwaje free employer ho
yeah it's omo make a tell say tia e kana went here last week and I said last 2 weeks say omo who say cost for a period of time na on person obetua dia and obobema sa our employer no aye sa deductions no say over a period of time so omo who say still na we jaitua and I say one person obetua kra na and omo betumi de work court bailiffs for no omo easy sakanwa enye easy kra nti e better say wakasa we be making we mind up so we to asasika instead of getting the employer involved and say as much as possible no na wetia ekano say a direct debit account na woni mame no e wo sa enkita ho ne dia and then now ye wo direct debit say only direct debit na odrin say okay ebia there's no way I made to me ISR direct debit with mame no be cannot do so be say between say ni say omo de omo fi say e ka dodo say and answer e ka dodo say as much as you can no as long as they can see say ye ejuma na wo ye no sika say e na wo je eno no sa no na omo aka say ende ye ji say efri wo ho I think say most of the time it's because of mbema omo pese omo ye there somo ye say omo hwe nkwala na which ye na ye nim say omo asede no they won't do it because ebia omo dream say mame no oye say enya mame no asem na ye ka nkwala no asem nti omo hwe akola no and the fact say akola no ehia enyeme bia mame no enkwa entumi provide it so we make sure say oh yes sir enyema no
me ba cho lawyer Eunice wakasi mama me asreba mame fa we mewuram na say e ma ne bi nso enye responsible omoja kola no atu mema no so a me be ma no so no metimi di oba na akọ ne ya gisika na firi oba no ho de amam
of course kola no etse papa no ho instead of mame hu no ho dia then of course obetumi aka say I mesom he call child maintenance service for no na onwa gisate kana efiri ho but let's remember this say mame ne papa no was equal responsibility for nkola no until let's say for 1 week nkola no ebetina papa no ho another week nkola no betina mame no ho until almost parents ho every other week say you 50-50 there and the child maintenance for no almost to me enjeshwe because mommy no mo hwe nkola no equally until I don't know say no almost maintenance cry because there will be no point in collecting maintenance when mommy no mo hwe nkola no ebom and I say equally but say let's say parents oye papa no ohwe nkola no ebia during holidays nkwa na mama no ehwe nkola no every other time there and the omo be calculate senya at least papa no obetia a bit less than obetumi and as omo be calculate say obetia into say sanet there then of course they will make sure say papa no will pay a lesser rate but say mama no so na only nkola nte na nkola ne ba ne nchen ebia during holiday time then of course and also say no omo be calculate and then no look at how many times and I say how many days nkola no omo tena ne nchen na omo to me I calculate a reduced rates for and also mama na ebia on sheda any nkola no ente it's either way it's not specific to just the fact that because ebia mame no na ewo nkola nti ono pena yebetumi agit kana amano it is more for the children than the man and also the woman
Se oka maame ne dia enhye da nye problem ba oka papa na akoye se na anu asem bi asi ogana no enti unya ka papa no pe na madwan kosi o papa no na madwan kosi yo mate anopai lawyer Eunice se ye nka nkyere o se awade no mpo no sebi se antini anyi ma woni maame ne enye fine woni papa no monye fine na muntimi compromise na enkola no child maintenance ayi no enkoda ituo nkotwe ba bi atwere ase nkrofo bi a omoba on Facebook omututu o se obi anwane se wo koye sa pepepepe anhwe a wo papa no be dwane wandwane amame ne be dwane anopa ibra ahoma no so 0208 133 4646 dia na wo no wakota mutuo no atutuo boni se make say wadwane den wo rent kura wontimi ntia e kire say sika no embeto account no mu na kire say child maintenance enkola wonso no wawo bebiri enkola no wawo say 4 5 ana say so wo ba kokura wanhwe problem so wo ma se mu koduru child maintenance kono na akola no oye ba kokura eye problem adena me ma mo yesa ba lawyer Eunice minimum baby a wo ya wagya nkola na to be ma no so adwani o se masa ma enkohwehwe no enne asem abayi de ma yenkohwehwe no ye ba kwa akohwehwe no pa child maintenance ne ye ma no mfa no hunni ono so obetua bi me pa chao me ma achi ema wakwa ba eba dwumade yeso
prophet me pa chao me ma wachi me jemo so
mo wadaroma anopai lawyer Eunice 8 you
yo prophet madam wasi ye frame asare me pa chao me chia lawyer Eunice enso so enana pay
lawyer Eunice say odo so papa ne lawyer Eunice ade bi a oye wa ha no me kura nka me afanchia no onu nsuo o mami bi kasa otie
oh ade na oye papa nana
we die dabi waye maame na
yo prophet medase we dey me pacho one bi na me pacho me bisa lawyer Eunice lawyer me pacho sa 2.5 na ya yejino ujina obaso na wajino se bia wo ye we switch ya on say ya na 10 year route enti say ya the mount na say we switch ya na say o 5 years na because me de me kan ye no me na me nim say we switch enti me titi mu na me hu say me say we switch but na it is almost time na me we 2.5 years no enti me train ye e ma 2.5 years na eso ye no me ko renew no e na me switch ye enti me switch ye no later on the brem no is 5-year route almost switch ko 5-year route no na me ni obi sudi no say we switch ya no more 5-year route na first 2.5 years na we try you know and no is part of the 5-year route now with the mount and to me find that my second time I me wo mu no to be me wait that second term which is 2.5 years na I be kwa first 2.5 years na me ye no am na 5 years then after that no over to me I indefinite and I say me switch ye no first 2.5 years no ashegu nti afi na me ye 5 years now with the mama no na after 5 years no me to me ababa yet me indefinite na nti no na kampese lawyer na daruma or church must take a say as to how to go about it
okay in terms of immigration rules no say tenya waka no your application na Abia went to me meet certain requirements, either immigration requirements, and I say financial requirements, and I say English language requirements. Automatically, no. So we meet relationship requirements now. Ube to me actually say only akola a genuine relationship, but it will be unreasonable for akola no to leave the UK there. Omo de ube to 10-year route no so. Into omo be ma 30 months, and I said 2.5 years each time. Say over to me meet requirements no nina, which is either the financial, the English, or even the relationship and also the immigration status requirements now, then of course they are saying that you can be put on the 5-year route because with me MET requirements need now. So those 5-year route no so the first grant of that 5-year route no is when you were able to meet all of the requirements. Into let's say second 2.5 no, that was when you were able to meet relationship requirements, with immigration status requirements, with English language requirements, financial requirements. So if that was the time you were able to meet all of the requirements there, then of course, will 5 years no started from the time I would start to say meeting requirements need na, and I said who said to me meeting requirements need na. Into 5-year route no, granted 2.5 na. That is the first 2.5. So was another 2.5 for them to see say you are still meeting all of the requirements. Into another another 2.5 biome to be able to meet the 5-year route requirement. Into say 2.5 on the 10-year route now. A completely different routes. And only a 10-year route and a 5-year route into and no count it. It will only start to count from the time you were able to meet the requirements for the 5-year route. Into say second time way and out to meet the requirements need na dia. And then the 5-year route starts from 2.5 way into you have to do 2.5 way and then another 2.5 to make 5 years. And son away to me I indefinite leave to remain. Into in total no now I 7.5 years.
Years, nice to say, be 2.5 years now. So, and you know, Sebia may renew for the second time ever 5-year route is that I will need that English way no test and I say English winning in like what they call first one. Do I have to present all of them again?
Okay, so for the financial requirements, definitely you should still be able to meet it. And say, so to make sure say, well, income now what you know, still na able to me I meet this income support rate na omodema in Colano and omo awo for able chrome ha. So you should still be able to show say we meet this maintenance no. You should also still be able to show say we meet English language test no. And say if for instance you went to do A1, then the next time you have to do A2 to show say you have been able to meet the requirements for the English language test. And you should be able to also show say accommodation.
Okay, I think send me English test me A2. I think send me A2.
Okay, and so you can still use that A2 for the second 2.5.
And Matiasi, I feel Matiasi.
Okay.
That's it. Bye.
What's that?
Okay.
Yanso yada wasi onyame enhyira bye bye. Anopai wonso ubetumi aba ahoma no so sanya lawyer ayewal anopai no baby a de befa bia obeyi unsema no kai hono say yaka child maintenance ho asem enso sanya min onipa ho donti na bo akrama yo ko ngrom enti baby a de asem no befa bia no lawyer be you ano e bia wo de no na enye child maintenance you putting in the application na yahwe na lawyer so to what lawyer me boa
who didn't correct
eno ano no me pa cho me ma wachi e ma akwaba
yeah India me pa cho me ma wachi
oba hima ye ju so
yes me pa cho some po mu ye di hello hello
Pasha Kosomete.
Me pacho me pesa me bisa lawyer Eunice asem kakra.
Ma me to aso lawyer 8 you.
Me pacho master minister na me yet a change of condition application. Na me submitting on the 30th until on the 4th of this month. No more day document upload link di breme. But now my documents ni na ready. Nti Monday no na yeah ready I make downloading. I may click a link and almost say a account disabled. And see a mom into me download me documents. Na me be say kwan be so na memfa.
And see share wo document checklist na. Usually omo wo address e was our document checklist no so. And say when to me I uploaded during the time now almost say so we uploaded I think say usually it's about 10 days. So when to me I uploaded there and they shared with document checklist and see we print say we document checklist now we who address no into print document checklist no now send it to address now it was no I think say it's a change of conditions address in Sheffield and I said visa and so share address now not with to me at the reference no aka ho aposti e de akoma omo
nti me patcho passport ni ade ka ho me fa ne nyina ntiemu mfa patcho you ene na mentro okay anyway so more me address na me say a return way no mentro my address ngu achira na patcho
yeah we to be patcho me retro address no and always do it by recorded. Into what post BBR, which original documents are always posted by recorded delivery.
Me patcho you. That's
Nothing. Prophet Emsamen sit there o kano.
Na me bisa ye nua ba ne say. O saying se passport ka ho a. Passport no on fan shemu na on post nko na me bisa se passport na nka documents na o say on famra no ana. E ka ho
yeah.
E ka ho dia. Ene na wo say wo deko unless say documents is for bra no passport nka ho. Ayade. Me ba cho me ma achi e ma wa kwa ba.
I did so opening. I was going to say.
Nyame ashiraye eja.
Me da se. Me paso mi wo problem kakra na me pese me bisa na mo chem kaka. Ze me wo 2.5 years na so. Na me ne me wife no na ye wo se aware na gunti me wo se wo. Te me yes me gina me ma so. Na me the first one. Te me ne preso na asene ko di court. Enti court no e ko na court me grant me. Na mo le me die ma. But almost in Kurana. Oh, mammy, whom Kurana. First one on for mamma, and I sang court. And I tell you, Casai or say, or the social phone no for mamma. Bear 3 times, singing as social phone comes in Kurana, because of mamma and Captain back. And now, it did not so a mother may mammy. But I say, my use. Me find a cost. To me expect a court in the court. But that's me fair. Mamma, me sang new episode. Now, I'm Argentina, may be people say, as a PSN, Messiah, Casua, Mrs. Mepo, semi Korean, and this cemetery, not me.
Manson, the question is,
me say, on any year, oh my jai. Na enkolano maame no emma no enhwe enkolano se maame no ekeka nse no kire enkolano se okọ ehihye da one enkolano be hia social worker ne se enkolano se omoma enji sisi ya waya wohunu ne awo so woye na sisi maame ne se on samfa application fufo emetum se akonta eyesa
me dey ndi amodi mare but I say, I call court to you say, can I say, court no sana guarantee me home crown. And a court no say, because of 6 months, they say, me sana new application at the back court. Now, judge, consider.
Okay, and so, that's so, bisa court no for that child arrangement order, but on the mama no, won't get a home say, at least, obey home colano time way, and I said time way. It's sana all can. Okay, so in terms of arrangements now, when the mama no one, of course, say when the mama no try to move it to me, every arrangements be in terms of in Kolane shred there. court no ebe share there also oh yeah afa ho because most of the time no omo pe say mumie no anasa awofo no mutumi reach agreement before them and answer the courts themselves making some sort of order, because even if you come to an arrangement no na mo the two more lawyers anymore omo betumi a draft consent order na court no astampe so say mumie no mo apeno so say ni say na mo be ye na ebia wo a wo ye papa no mo betumi ahwe nkola no nti say eba ne sa dia, then of course then we know say you are able to have that relationship with nkola. But I've been to cases where, for instance, mama no on per se papa no behwe nkola no because ebia or ka say papa no onhwe nkola no in terms of sika ni omudidiem ni nyama akola no behia nti before obema papa no kran po ahwe nkola no ti say wetia phone bills wetia sika say nti omo late no doso and say what the two judge nenima judge no make say okay say untua hwe emma nkola ne dia and there say mama ne ka say utua say ni say. Even there was one case where mama ne say over 10,000 pounds NHS car I say utua nti papa no ntua. There are so many demands when it comes to child arrangements all this way. It's not just about papa not having the right to see the children, but in terms of the financial support also say mama no feel say the man is not making any financial contribution there cause no better no so say and the papa ubetumi ehun but mama no so say so to say ni say in se patcho bebere so we make sa arrangements no now we dey to sa eka no. Otherwise, say your mama neka no, all my kwan say overshare womba no. So there are so many things involved apart from the fact say ebia wone mama no aka say ebia overshare nkola no weekends and I say overshare nkola no every other week and I say during holiday time. It's important say of course say if the woman has other reasons the on person overshare nkola na you find out from her the entire on person ubehu nkola no. It's also important say as much as possible say what make contact say only nkola no ebedi nkita ho na osi there bin so you can also let your lawyer know na omude to judge no enim. And it's also one of the things that they look at in terms of efforts to make some sort of arrangement with mame no. I know say it's not easy because sometimes no, because of the fact that AB and time no there was so many issues. Into mama na ohwe nkola no o ma enyama enye easy so emma because also jidi say there are other things that you should have done like AB 1 year. Into maybe you need to also look at those other reasons as well. Of course says a motriman so continue they will continue to call hearing dates, and if the woman doesn't attend, usually no, they will always find a way to make sure say mama no be attended because it's also contempt of court say omo bisao 2 times 3 times still na umba they can issue the police to arrest you and I say no crampo no. They can also put you in custody because you haven't been compliant with court's order not to attend court. And so those are some of the things that they can also use against Mamino if, let's say, over a continuous period, it's over court not on by and I say she has to take part in Kafka's report not on year dear. Those are steps that the judges can take to make sure they over comply with court order no. And see, I'm sorry, sir, of course, we'll try to over arrangements with Akolano Mameno, still na on Peneso. But in terms of those arrangements, no, maybe are there other reasons that you need to look at and say, or say, it can be what they are, and then maybe you need to start looking at Kano, and I say, if there are other reasons, then you need to address those other reasons, then you also ube to me any in Kolano, edin kita home.
The senator, my yen in my effect, me plan, it was semi told Yama, first in Yamano, on the judge in legend. The Tony Amanda Cocoa and judge in Adila social phone. No more that come on. Last time when I social phone cast on my modification, me Tony Amacran, I'm also going to me sending my court. I don't know, say, me sending my court on Gran and Crown almost Sacos or Mosanka, I don't know. Because any day the other problem because me plan me fight to think I make work. Because of one the charge I'm born, so Jankran ho Nick boy now and no honors and Shankran ye the Valley and Crown comedy or Mom food banking. And until I find some there's still my mommy who crown you know so. Then now you call your course I no lawyer. You call me bound to meho. I can't name more than me by honor or cut say next year, but not name more than and me not say okay, me follow process and check seminar, me follow you. In my 5 years, so I don't know. And yes, you got them because of my relationship, I don't know the man who and you know I'm a bank because the man angry.
And yet, say bra, near far pen and two paper so not lawyer, same emblem, na yentimi push him rana kwasumunjo.
Matter.
And I say my many can win me agony.
Oh, me no yadene.
Aye, first na near man koi, say Yamia yadon, and your message is sukakra. But why a light bill, no water bill, no nature say, yam pushing your man tomb, none your man yakama. Sebi, impeni for say, so near Yansa phone and tia with Nyansa. Enti Kromahano, and Marana Yajuma, enti a soul shake a cranny who is a Marano, Unyan Shedan do Masuka, near you, Wagro, near Triku. Sabe pen aye you entibra ni emfamara enko kamera ho ni emfamara enje nkola no emfamara emfa nkola no ma ho eno ana no
mate
bra your 4th floor of Anna
never
yeah
unim ho pa
unim ho
oh yeah
she am Tesco car park she am Tesco car park nyame nshira bye bye
nyame
first na niam munye se sei niam mu aye kakra enti no bra na chenchem yanje niam no ema na bibia enye kama winim abruadi ansa na ye friend nana enti wodi mesrew bomode bra me pa cho me ma achi ema wakwa aba.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, nana pa dia sana good morning na share that broflies na Eunice I dey always say that ansa na wodana
Me pa cho the
yeah bre lawyer Eunice eti
yo me pa cho ya fa ma jo me fresh in London na me have me kuta settlement and me one crime you pa kwa di church ni ba kwa di 12 na me ya me settlement no me ya ma to no kuta settlement ni na se no we pesa me British book ni ma wo mu na me pesa me hu se no umbe jina me so anasa omo 30 years no mo do no mo akata betimi ago omo asaf
in local settlement indefinite leave and I say EU settled status settled na mo de ma
you me worry you ni and I make settlement and I'm the ma wo.
Okay. And so usually in the case of nkola omwedi under the age of 13 say omo ba na omo ma omo indefinitely to remain and I say senior all kind of settled status now omo betna krom her for at least 2 years then of course after that 2-year period omo bet to me I registration of British citizenship under section 3.1 no
but me wo ha no say na sa ma na me ya na ni binin ti no me je ma wo mo ba o ya me wo mo nyina wa ha.
Oh okay omo wa ha okay into usually say who was settled status na almost was settled status there and they over to me application no senya make no over to me register even as minors into almost 2 no because they are still minors which is almost still under the age of 18 into over to me I register as British because one has no wabe British wabe settled ever chrome her into register once they get the certificate of registration or not why a passport application no am
and so say there was one for neutralization answer no o matimi apply for book na nkasa ana person
Pachai
Okay. Na mpacho form then I am MN1 na.
Patchine. Yeah.
Okay. And that's the part.
That's in here.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, me yanso yada wase nyame inshira me pacho anopai onso ubetumi abaline no so sane america ka twa mu no ene yebedi child maintenance ho enkomo enso baby a wode befa bia no lawyer ebetumi ayu ensem na no pepepe enka metama so a ewo se meko enti yamwo aboye ho ne yamfa dwumadie ni nyina emra awiye enne anopai enye sa mesi abonten ho pe meti bobole bobo membese meti bobole bobo membese meti bobole bobo ntino ye keka nsemu no asia ni ntentententem ne ya kan tum prada ne ye ko se ye di nkoma ede dwumadie na ba wiye no utimi bowura line no so a me do be malo ya Eunice kama na one wo atimi edi nkomo hye no nso se line no eye 0208 133 4646 and as 0208 133 1134. Me sino manosu bim ediama 0208 133 4646 and as 0208 133 1134. Na oni lawyer Eunice atimi edi nkomo sebi obi nhu obi nkeka ya nsemi ho na ye yapa ye binum ye papa no man hweye so ye ne ye hwe omomo wuye enti maame no mamont na asekura be man wo ye rough pepepepe fanabra payment ni e baji mu miensa ni amanu mu baako simple analo ya ne menya adwene
Oh, me wo ya adwen pa.
Me man ye rough amfo mo mra ye baji pay mu miensa ni amawo mo baako eno ano no eso na aso no anso na ye ne problem nti wo mpa ho asem a ko na ni oba na oni na gyan no monko amendi na hwe nkola no eyo oba na oni na gyan nkola no onye oba e ba cho bra line no so 0208 133 4646 obi be ka so poi wa asem nye ma asem ye nipa mpe no kure 0208 133 4646 kai na sha no so say BWF solicitors your Tottenham hodie sebi ka frache Tesco ho nyina obi anim ye train station ho obi anim ye your 4th floor of Anna House 214 to 218 High Road Shenanson fa open na me the postcode no ebe fo also 214 to 218 High Road 7 Sisters me bacho me mawachi ema wakwaba.
Yeah, 12 morning. Eunice morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, very Mr. Maybe some question because they can say what you have now 1 million for 2 times. Obi man information they say more bit to me I am possible bit when indefinite or contact time and straight away. But I know pray.
Mansini.
So 2.5 and we renewing for 2 times. Now we got third, we have a renewed one. I possible so bit me renew with me. I said I see the lawyers more we be with me. We get me renew ammonia indefinite straight instead of the extra 2.5 to 5 years now come.
Hey, it's a second question now. Papa ni visa at the beginning, no. Okay, it's obiso visa similar question to who dear no. Debbie, into 2.5 on the 10-year route. Now we'll switch it to the 5-year route. Now we'll sign another 2.5 on the 5-year route. And yeah, automatic say over to me, I application for indefinite leave to remain. Patcho be brain sir. 10-year routes no different requirements from 5-year routes no. It's say omoma 2.5 on the 10-year route. Now, what you did say, over to me meet requirements no on the 5-year route no dear. Then of course, because of the fact that we to me meet requirements no, and none to na model at 5-year route no so. So that's so meet our requirements no for the next 2.5 years. And sana omo at 2.5 so on the 5-year route no bium. So when to me meet requirements now, almost and the better 10-year route no so. Inti after the first 2.5 now on the 5-year route no. So uguswa meet our requirements ni bium for the next 2.5. Saying over to me, I complete our 5-year route no. And say, of course, so to me, meet our requirements no for 2.5, and then another 2.5 on the 5-year routes in quad dear. Then you can make the application for indefinite leave to remain. And to sad dear, so we are 2.5 on the 5-year routes. Now when to me, meet requirements now for the 5-year routes. Now all your application now. Almost the over to 10-year routes no subium. It means that you are going back to 10-year routes no subium. And see, why you 2.5 10-year routes? Why another 2.5 on the 5-year routes? Almost somehow another 2.5 on the 10-year routes. And they just all complete 10 years and sign away to me. And ya will indefinite leave to remain application now. It's not automatic say. Because why 2.5 did I know? Into 2.5 now, more or 5-year route no so no, or qualify for indefinite. And to say, my partner there be into 2.5 now, more or 5-year route no so no. So we so meet the same requirements nibium for the next 2.5 years. Into say, oh yeah, that 2.5 nibium now meet the requirements now. No more at 5-year route no so ebium. In total no, now I was 7.5 years. It's to me a day a year sir indefinite leave to remain application no.
But let me patch so why 5 years did that? So why 5 years did that? But requirement now come out and some but wait a minute show for just to be a minute the requirement is which are some of the requirements no more expected.
Okay. Into say oh yeah application on the 10-year route no so. Now ABA for instance meet relationship requirements. Ebia we are based on woba. Into we to me actually almost say one woba no ewo subsistence and parental responsibility for sakola no. And then of course ebia sa time no na we share that any crata into you couldn't meet the immigration status requirement. And you couldn't meet ebia almost financial requirements no to show say over to me I maintain akola no. And then you couldn't meet English language requirements into almost the whole 10-year route no so. Also, koye application ni biom for 2.5 years no. Almost say and the share say over to me meet sa requirements for way ni na. Wo relationship with akwala no, wo immigration status, wo financial requirements, and wo English language. Ebia, wo koye second 2.5 no. Now we name say we English be, but ebia na we juma na we no to me say over to me I maintain akola no. And also of course because we 2.5 no first ninti na wo enkrata into na omo name say wo enkrata. And still now we share akola no into omo name say wo to me meet relationship requirements. Because now we name say we English ninti. And no Emma would the almost to 10-year route no subium because when to me meet one of the requirements. So osanko biom na at least to me meet English language requirements, financial requirements, immigration status requirements, relationship requirements, so requirements for way ni no. So to me meet including accommodation there. Then almost the beto 5-year route no so. Until let's say the third time now all kono na afe we who say requirements way ni na SME meeting into almost the 5-year route no so. That's 2.5 no almost the ma first ne second no because almost the 10-year route no so no and no completely separate from 5-year route no so almost the wato for the third time. Into of course say almost ma 2.5 third time na afe na over 5-year route no so no. So 2.5 no more amount third time no ebeye wo first one on the 5-year route no so. O sign accord for another 2.5 biom na utumi meet relationship requirements, immigration status requirements, financial requirements, English language ni accommodation there. And the almost the obeto 5-year route no so biom. Into you should be able to meet some requirements no for a 5-year period. And sana ube to me aye indefinite leave to remain application no. Inti so almost the 10-year route no so and no encounter towards 5-year routes because two separate routes. Almost 10-year routes and almost 5-year routes. because of the fact that when to me meet certain requirements. But also me meet requirements not there, and they won't say when the move, and then they will let you continue with 2.5 no. It's unfortunately with 10-year route no 2.5 normal demand no, it doesn't count towards 2.5 normal demand on your 5-year route.
Okay, you're really good in Bachelor. Tell them that we want. Tell me twice a year, every new 2000. Tell them it come back to be the same.
Pacho, Mantini.
The package is to say I can be I can be for another 5 years, 2.5 million. It's in the same 2.5 million now. Now the customer concession now. This is the same. I will come back to be say within the 10 years now period now.
Yes, sir. Why?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, me pacho wo. NHS, your parents are we students. Okay, 2.5. Now we go school. You be sorry, for investment. So I'm being young loan. I want to be brave. But I heard the other day, like I say, opportunity to how I'm betting about my betting young loan in their school. But yeah, apply almost we got 2.5. I think it's any possible.
Okay, I think based on the residence requirements no more one. So to me, NHS what's now UK legally for a period of 3 years. Usually no mobile access so as an international student. Let's say what's now UK Chrome ha now we in crasa, but after now we have first 2.5 and I say we started with second 2.5 no crampo na unya 3 years legal residence. In they will not assess you as a home student. Or move assess so as international students. Saying over to me, it's your fees no. But say almost share wo residents now. Almost say wait to me. Actually say what's not a Chrome legally for that 3-year period there. Then of course, then they can assess you as a home student. And no mama start tuition fee loan. Saying okay a loan into so we juma now and a certain amount then after a certain period almost directly from HMRC towards students loan fees so of course so meet requirements then unfortunately no to your fees no.
But we know a bit of the money. I bet you the bremo, and I said there's no need for another to come.
Prophet Mantini.
Mami, you know her. A dear Biara, and Rafa Humbiano, a lawyer, and a send your beya, Obeka, Nemra and Mubrofo, a man near Matuto form, Entimi Pacho, lawyer bit me a bum permanent, a coming, Meneo Adrinia, my lawyer, madam, and know you better than say, well, by a memo example. Aquabi. If he say, or no, I deal with you, or could read it, obey na bibia fa kama, or koye or koye and farman. Now, dear no so much now, why my dear Nicamu and Sunny de Bren say, Nidiana was who we cry near the Bren say, Yan farman. She say, we did any turning it down. Finally, or coffee lawyer, or decoy any Sunday knuckle starting. Indeed, your Sunday knuckle starting. It was started 10 years in India. You did not start Mr. My lawyer, madam. Why?
Okay, you're in my floor. Last week, my prayer so off. And we are not. That's be brave.
Now, oh, lawyer Eunice personal number.
Baby.
Me patch off for pen. For pen.
1 minute.
For pen. For pen. No problem. And I mean my lawyer Eunice personal number. Well, Madman so Otimiya from home.
Wonderful.
Menen the American from so Otimiya from home.
Okay.
Fapen. Pepacho lawyer Eunice number 075 35 813 910.
910.
No, lawyer Eunice number no be a moment here. 075 35 813 910 and no.
Okay.
We put me can direct
Ati make an direct no problem.
Come on, Medasi.
Bye.
Anapai a BWF solicited ena uti a remote radio international ye Facebook no etwagusa uko YouTube no so a yate apete ho etire se ba bia de be fa bia no remote radio anapai ya bedi enkomo papa ne atiefo be ye me ko na BBC a mo nyina me de bebrem mo nhye no nso ene ya beka won a wo mo wo a omun tanhwe enkwala no na maamefo no de mwako child maintenance fo ho enne insemu aba na emu ode ne papa maamefo no nyina momfa mani nkire BWF solicitors na ye nkire mo kwanya mo fa so ono wawo enu akotena ba bi no ne oba bi etwa supermod ne aponche nkrakra dabi sika ni nyina ebeje di abrem ebeje di abrem for any chile 4th floor of Anna House. 4th floor of Anna House. Tottenham 1214. Asemaba. 214 to 218 High Road, 7 Sisters. 214 to 218 High Road, 7 Sisters. London N15 4NP. London N15 4NP. Unya timiya na kakran na di postcode ni shemo a. Me pa cho ma o target enye Tesco car park ho. Tesco car park ho. Unya wura ho dia. Wo 90 minutes we park free. O kwa afre mi. Me na me ye ticket director ho. O frɛ me na me hu sa o car ni si o hidia. Ene no ano no. Ene obafre number ben. 0208 493 7340. Me bacho your office number no. Ofra obetumi abuku appointment we so. Ana say ni apasa woni office for no ekan bia oni omuka ye be kiro kwan abefa so obepa keka no bibia kama na 90 minutes no boro so a na obehunu nti frɛ na book appointment ansa na wabewuram. 0208 493 7340. For emergency number, Uncle Ben, wada ni sasi aduanim oti play mu oti tractor so oti bicycle so ofra no kra obefa enti emergency 077 127 61884 077 127 61884 Uncle Ben obefa pe ana lawyer Eunice number na mabono enso papa yenti mesa bobiem 075 35 81 3910 075 35 81 3910 enie lawyer Richard utikoto kura ofrena obepiaba obema judge no excuse no apiaba no abe answer we wi no akọ to an case so 079 60 20 1500 079 60 20 1500 mesrao sanya nipa no do so nti se wo frɛ no anya o manya abotre ade ba ko mo ye ta ye me fe no wo send message a obenya ntogase no akenkan ngo no wa frɛ back anase wa reply enti wo frɛ no anya men fa bufuo men chenyi wo lawyer no ko ye ba ko pe ene ye ene ye tie na mbra no ekasa lawyer Eunice nyame nhyira afa
adwuma so
an
oni ye na edwuma mpa nyame nhyira into the church of many umbre and shada and also into the better to of course you can child maintenance home and the of course BWF solicitors no and yeah immigration issues in kwa and yedi ho adwuma say over family issues senya and them abeka child maintenance home sem be more harm over some home kola no senya gentleman also can ho asem say or yeah child arrangements case ever court and now crampo say when they were no montem atete na muhia divorce Yes, so yeah, who ejuma. Ana crampo say, of course, sometimes a bit to me about and say, what contract will be say on ye juma ma, nipa kono an ye juma no. Sika no so wait ya nipa kono ka. Na ope say oje wusika and also civil litigation, yeah, who ejuma. And then there are a bit and bob in terms of your housing, any the fact say ABA one council crampo issue with housing, any other matters are obviously here and boa efa hono. Yes, so yeah home ejuma. Into saying our prophet abobo your address, any your telephone number. So we here in boa. Any say oba physically. So open say ofre yen so now only yen ekasa wo phone so and I say only yen di kita ho e Zoom crampo so a ye wait to me ISA consultation no remotely into either say obey your telephone so and I say Zoom and I say Teams and only now so e wo hobby ye wait to me after one instructions no remotely. And see, of course, offer your main office line on way to me able call either to come in and answer to have a remote consultation. Your office number biom 0208 493 7340 into 0208 493 7340. You be from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Into Monsha time non so 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Into so person fra between those times na yembuko. Prophet nyamenshra yeda etefo ni na ase next week yebesai ednemo edin kita ho bio. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mranse mu. Eye legal services, be to say family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWFDA, yen solicitors e de enigye ene twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nya den kra. Yen partner penin pa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi ti se child care eye abofrahwe mu awarja ye ho twuma mentwe ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma so. Yen child care any family team no nim nia wo famu eweni ya wo bremu enu ntini yetu ye mboase ma wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner Eyobia Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a unni haw kra. Upe advice ewo immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho semsem kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas ni appeals. Ye senior partner eye member na wasagina tum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se taiwachi a wunni haw kra. Ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa nonkron pa mu ekosi enumre nonsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ena memene dan so eye appointment nko free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm. Ye wo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground nswa eye kwantie bi. Yen senior partner Bernardo Wusu san ye barrister ya gina tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo ewo court cases ya efa Ghana law ho. Wa advise local authorities, official solicitors office ni solicitors bebre efa Ghanaian law ho yi na osan yo bia otai kasa ewo radio any TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.